Hi, Taurus. This is Mary with Seer. So sorry. Thanks for stopping by. This is your mid-February 2020 reading. Thank you for your subscriptions, likes, and shares, and booking readings with me. Your comments also deeply appreciated. So it's great to be with you here today. I'm going to tell you a story, past, present, and future. I'm sure you already have your questions or concerns. Okay, almost ready. Okay. All right. So I have my computer screen right here. So if I look over there, you kind of have an idea what I'm doing. I do that to make sure things are clear and my hair's not crazy and something like that. All right. So we're going to start right out the gate with the devil. Interesting. So devil is about, well, it can be about a Capricorn number one, so let's not totally put shade on it because Capricorns are very industrious and very hardworking and very accomplished. But it can also be about the change that bind us to things. You know, it could be about ego, it could be about obsession. So that's where we're starting out the gate. So, and then the next card is the moon reverse. So this is about, it's kind of about trauma that we avoid by taking action in ways that we, maybe habits. And so that would make sense, both of them together. Like maybe we were hurt as a child, or maybe something happened to our parents as a child or something, and that created trauma. And instead of dealing with the feelings of that trauma, because somehow nobody in our family did, or we didn't know how to, we picked up some kind of obsession or some kind of avoidance behavior. And that would be what this card would represent. Okay. All right. So the next card is, well, this is Seven of Pentacles. So this is about maybe looking at our lives and looking at the seeds we planted and saying, you know, is this where in the past, this is where I want to be? Maybe this is about what our family planted, and maybe as we were growing up, what we created, what we were continuing to create. And it could be a place where we're saying, you know, if you feel like you're living the same life over and over through the cycles, this may be the place in saying, maybe I need to do new things so I can have new outcomes. Or maybe I'm just putting all of my energy in this place that's not bringing something to fruition, because it just never gets to the place of, I guess fruition would be it. So if you had a garden and you kept working the same soil, but you weren't getting any kind of harvest. Yeah, the harvest is taking too long where I'm at. So Seven of Pentacles is about investment, your time and your life and your energy and education, work, all of that. But it's also taking the time to say, is this reaping what I think it should be? Oh, so sorry about that. Okay. Sometimes you wonder if that's a confirmation, right? When stuff like that happens during readings or your reading. So here's the present. So Temperance reverse would be a place of needing healing. You know, maybe you're ill, maybe somebody's ill here from this avoidance behavior. Maybe emotionally imbalanced. Maybe there's an addiction that really needs to be handled. Handled? Dealt with? Handled. An addiction that needs to be considered. Eight of Swords reversed is about, well, coming out of that place of anxiety. Okay, so let's talk about the healing that needs to take place here. Yeah, I want to heal, but I'm having trouble coming out of my anxiety. How do I deal with that? It's a good question. Nine of Wands. This is beautiful. Nine of Wands is about, I don't care. I'm so sorry. It's like, no matter what happens, having the determination that you'll get through this, that you can do this, no matter what it is. Because sometimes imagining living the same cycle over and over is sometimes a harder thought, it's a harder thought future to consider than to just scrap it all and start looking at everything. Not scrapping it all, but looking at everything. Scrapping it all. You know those slips like that? They mean something. So maybe that is what somebody's out there thinking. Look, I'm just going to toss all of this and start over. Sometimes that means, I don't know where this is coming from, new friends, new job, new place to live, new lovers, or no lovers. Just working on you. Because we know that Taurus they're always looking for love. That's like, because it's about that Venus energy, and that's understandable. Different signs are driven. They come in at sun signs a certain way because there's issues that they need to do, or there's a lesson in their life, and that does have something to do with what sign we're born under. Okay, so here's the future. Two of Pentacles. So this is deciding what if we're going to be juggled, if we're going to be, it's finally getting the place of maybe needing to decide. The future is decision. Making a decision. And different readers read this in a different way. But for me, because upright, there's two boats here and they're in the rocky waves because somebody can't decide. They're like, do I do this or do I do that? Do I do this? Do I do that? This is reverse. It's like, okay, I'm not doing any of that. I'm going to do this, or I'm going to decide within one of the two. That whole thing that slipped out about scrapping it all, just going, I'm not doing what I've been doing at all. That's what feels like going on here. And this is tangible things. This is not, this feels like relationships, jobs. It could be everything. It was like, I've had enough of all of this. Because what it feels like to me, Taurus, is this somehow along the way you've lost who you are. And this really feels like it's other people involved a lot here. I have the Wheel of Fortune. Making this decision changes your fate. It's almost like it was a destiny. It was your destiny to make this decision. Thank goodness, right? What am I going to get out of it? Well, you're going to get an opportunity to have the things you want. It changes your fate. It very possibly opens the doors for actual abundance to come through, because maybe all this indecision and being stuck, feeling stuck, and anxiety and avoidance behavior, addiction, and trauma has blocked your abundance. I would say that's kind of the way it looks here. I got two, I think, right here. Yeah, I do. Okay, so we're going to put that one down. So I have the Three of Cups, and this is about celebration, reunions. Celebration, reunions. Once this starts happening, you are going to want to celebrate. This is a time to celebrate. But there is a, with this card, for me as a reader, there's always a bit of warning here. Not to forget about the avoidance behavior, because as a Fool reverse, not wanting to make the same mistakes. So be careful while you're in the money. Be careful while you're in the zone, the good zone, the happy zone. That you don't go back to your old ways by letting your guard down. To take each step like a true Taurus, carefully and methodically, and in considering everything. Remember not to go back to that place of avoidance, because things are looking good now and you can let your guard down. Okay? It takes a while to, and if we're going back to that behavior, then more work needs to be done regarding the trauma that started it anyway. And so I know it feels like an open sore when you start working on that trauma, but we take each piece as we can. And if we can be patient with ourselves, just trying to get the glare off, we can be patient with ourselves, then we can be nice to ourselves. So it is not the easiest place for a Taurus to not know what's going to happen, to not know what the truth is, to not have the idea firmly planted. And that's kind of, I think for a lot of us, it's something we really need to deal with, that sometimes we don't know the answers, that we don't know if this is truly the truth. But to say it's the truth just so we feel better isn't the answer sometimes. It's just more avoidance behavior. I know one thing, that maybe what I think is true may not be the truth. And for me, today, that might have to be enough. But that's just me. Okay? Because although it seems hard in the beginning to consider, because I have a couple, like I have my Venus in Taurus and I have my communication in Taurus, my second house. So I get that. I struggle with that. And that's the easiest place for me to be, is to go, how does it feel? Let's go back to how does it feel? No matter what I'm hearing, what does it feel like? There's a difference. And Taurus, you're so, you can manifest so easy. So you might have more information than you give yourself credit for having. Okay, so that was really interesting. We're going to just get a couple cards from your angels and ancestors. I don't know why I'm flipping them. They're always red upright on these ones anyway. It's always nice to hear your comments, truly. I appreciate them. Oh, I just had the elder. Like, I don't know if you're breaking some family patterns, but I think you might be. Here's one that popped out. Let's see. Father, Sky. My gosh. It's trust in the unknown. See? I don't know what the truth is, but I know that this isn't it. I know that that's what they're asking. Father Sky in Native American cultures, he's God. God, creator, higher self. The one, the all-in-one. Okay? Another perspective. The eagle. There's powers beyond what we are. Powers beyond what we are. There are things that you won't know the answers to, ever. And, you know, looking at the way things are, kind of acceptance to it, a lot of it is having faith, trusting in the unknown, that things do happen for us, even though it seems like they're happening to us. The question is, why does this keep happening? That's the question. That's the right question. But why does this keep happening? Not as we point to others, but as we point to ourselves and ask our higher selves and Father Sky. Coming back to a place of grounding, what do I know to be true? This relationship, that relationship, this relationship wasn't working. Why didn't they work? What's the real truth? How did I show up? It does come down to that, because we do have responsibility where we're at the time. I'm not blaming or anything. It's just what they're, it's like the messages I get to tell you, okay? I got no blame. I've done it all. I guess that's one of the reasons why I'm here. I don't know. All right, we're going to get one more card for you here. We're going to jump out. No. Let's see if we can get one to jump. Oh, there we go. There's two. All right, well, this one's about your guardian angel. It says, you are not alone, and to look for signs and synchronicities. If you see a white feather, that would be your confirmation that you're being heard, and that, there's guidance here. There's guidance here. That's why trusting in the unknown, that you are being guided and listening for those soft whispers, not the big slams of information. The big, like, you need to do this. That's ego. There's a difference. So, okay. You just can't even make this up, like many readers say. This is the magic guardian. Unlock the magic within. So I was saying about how much information you already have, how you're connected to things more than you realize as an earth sign. Grounding yourself when you get that urge to react in your ego self is just, okay, I appreciate that. Yes, that would, sometimes, you know what? I just think about what I'd like to say, especially recently, and I don't say it. And I just go, some things we can't take back on actions. Say if we get mad and we decide to, if our partner makes us mad or seems disrespectful, and we go talk to an old flame, and then we start something up there because we're mad at this, but we can't take that back because now we have a new connection we made. And that's the thing we need to consider. Or signing back on that dating app when we were in a relationship instead of trying to work on the relationship because we're angry. I don't know who that's for. But unlocking the magic within, instead of doing those things out of ego and anger, is to step back and say, let me just, sometimes it's just distracting ourselves until we can calm down and not react. So, people react in different ways. And if we want something long-term and loyal and kind and dependable and stable, then we need to be that way, body, mind, and soul. Okay, here's your last card for this week. This is Art Through the Eye of the Soul Oracle. And even if you think nobody knows, we know. Your partner knows. They can feel it. They can feel it. And Father Sky knows. Your higher self knows. And there's a part of you, if we do that knows you're not worthy. Does that make you worthy of trust if you're not being trustworthy? It's a good question. I can't answer that for you. It's just a question. So, okay, so seek the wisdom of your shamanic guides. So, this is a shamanic blessing. So you can ask for help. Gosh, I just want to do that. It's okay to say, I just want to hit something. I just want to run away. I just want to go off and have an affair. It's different to calling somebody and saying, hey, what's going on? Big difference. Because then you're acknowledging that ego reaction and saying, okay, I feel a little bit better now that I said that, but I don't have to be that. I don't know who that's for, honestly. Anyway, you got this. Whatever you want your life to be, you have it. You have all the tools, especially Taurus, the great manifestors. Take care, Taurus. I love you. Have a good week. I'll talk to you soon.